This one's really tough for me. I didn't think it was going to be, but it's become increasingly tough because I completely want something like this to go forward, but I think the kind of two sticking points I have are, and I agree, I sympathize and want something like this to happen, but the two sticking points are I have more of a Hobbesian view of human nature, and I don't trust people in general. I think most people aren't maybe honest. So, meaning this, what if I, as a person, went in to get a blood donation and I was given the choice, someone who got the vaccine or someone who didn't, according to the labels? Well, what if somebody who did get the vaccine went in and donated blood? They're going down the list of the 50 questions. Did you get the COVID vaccine? They're like, no, wink. I'm going to get someone because they're going to get, you know what I mean? Like there's no way to know either way, which is kind of, so if I'm, and I've given blood and donated blood and plasma and the whole 9 yards. If I'm getting blood and there's no way to know for sure scientifically whether that person has been vaccinated or not, I would never know. You know what I mean? I can't do it because there's nothing to confirm. That. So I guess those are the two things. We can't say, in my view, we can't pass this and say, oh, let's get on the phone with the FDA and say, hey, we passed this bill, you guys got to fast track. I don't think that's going to happen. So I want something like this to pass, and people might be shocked, like, oh my God, Lenny's voting against it. But I don't want to vote against it, but I feel like I need to because there's just no way to tell. There's no way to tell. And I would never trust getting up. I'm like, what if someone's trying to play a trick on me? That kind of thing. So I would like to, Representative Bruce, I commend you for bringing this to us, and I'm with you in spirit. Maybe we could come back next year or something. I don't know, work on this and figure out the loopholes. But regretfully, I will have to be a no on this.
Yeah. Senator Harris.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just kind of go off what Senator Lenny was talking about. I keep thinking, whose business is it if I get the vaccine or not? It's no one's business. I guess I want to thank Representative Bruce for bringing this, and I get the concerns, but I'm concerned also that this bill will reduce the blood supply if it passes. They can't comply, as we've heard today in testimony. But if they do comply or can comply, I'm also concerned about if it gives Red Cross the ability to access people's medical records. They're just there's sticky questions out there, so I'll be a no on the motion.
Senator Shippey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think I indicated it earlier. Just some of my concerns. I do, as Senator Lenny pointed out, I appreciate the bill sponsor a lot, and I do think this is a legitimate concern that a lot of people have. And I think, as Senator Lenny said, it would be good to do something, but at this point, I don't think this is it. There's no way to verify that the labeling would be correct. Excuse me. I think it would be at best giving false hope. If even the labeling process was able to take place, that's assuming that could even happen. I would like to see an easier way. I think it would be good. It seemed like it sounds fairly difficult. An easier way for somebody to choose a donor for them, to be able to streamline that, make it easier to choose who donates if you're getting a surgery and so forth. I'm not that familiar with it because I've never gone through it, but I understand that it's quite challenging, and so maybe focusing on that could be really valuable. Beyond that, I concur with Senator Lenny on this. I think maybe it just needs a little more work and come up with a better solution. in the future on this, so I will be voting no.
Senator Bjerke?
Madam Chair, a lot of interesting thoughts on this. I can't get over the immunology part and just not knowing. We talked about the COVID virus. We talked about shedding from one person to the next. We talked about people that got the vaccination shedding and spike proteins. And I just don't see a clear answer here as to ever being able to be sure that, I think by now you've either had COVID or you've had the vaccine. I'd be shocked if you can find someone who hasn't had one of those two things. And I think the effect is similar when you're looking at it immunologically. It's getting late. But I do appreciate the question and to looking into this. I was subject to a lot of transfusions at one point in my life, and that was back when HIV was a big scare. But the difference was they could test for that. And I had a bunch of people that donated a lot of blood, but I knew I was still rolling the dice. And I had to at some point say, I accept that risk because the option was not available to me. So although I love the question, I love to think about it, I'd like to see something move forward in the future, I don't think this is the time.
Senator Zeiderfeld?
Madam Chair, I guess I'll just finish up and say this is actually kind of depressing that we have gone so low as a society that we are afraid to share what has happened in our life, to give blood, to help one another, to be able to, I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't even know. I would probably do everything I could to not take blood because I would want to know what I'm receiving, and that just trust that people are honest out there. And to think that people are so vindictive and maybe not honest to share what they're giving to save another life. It's just a sad day for me. I still would like to see something maybe moving forward. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it's going in the right direction. But it's not giving me a lot of faith in our system right now on how we do blood if we're just going to blindly trust. But I just wanted to end with that.
Okay. Thank you.